can't think of what it was the other day.
Oh,
We are
we are
live.
live. What's good? Council of Comics, it's film and box office news. Hey, we're doing Return of the King today. J.R.R. Tolkien. Be back in 30 seconds.
What is good, Council of Comics? Welcome to episode number 70 of the Film and Box Office News live podcast. Today, we are going over Where's Lady Fantastic? We are doing Return of the King.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life. Crisis after crisis.
What is good, Council of Comics? Thank you for joining us today on this Sunday, January 14th, 5 days before my date of birth upon this earth. Yes, that's a bar, my friend. That's a bar. Welcome, Film Box Office News. As always, with me, the loyal council, Phil, Cliff, green shirt guy. How are you today?
Fantastic.
Excellent. I thought I'd put myself in the Lord of the Rings type voiceover or something.
What say you?
dramatic. What say you?
What say you?
What say you, Hobbit? Thank you guys for joining us. As always, if you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Remember, also, Cliff has a channel, Cliff on Comics. Go subscribe on his as well, and like on his as well. The universe of the Council of Comics is growing. Green Shirt Guy will soon be amongst the lives. It's spreading, so you must prepare for the
In March.
onslaughts.
Which is around the corner.
It's spreading.
Before you know
Phil
it.
will be out there as well. Be everywhere. All right. Today, Lord of the Rings, Part 3, Return of the King. We're ending the trilogy. It's the year of trilogies. We'll let you know what the next one is after we review this. It's very, very nice. Very nice. Change the tone a little bit. But let's go over the quick things real quick, and then we get into the meats of the situations. All right, first up, Young at Heart Foundation. This is run by our good friend Mike in California. It's a great organization. It does a lot of great things for the kids out there that are awaiting medical procedures. You can help out by registering to become a donor. Just go to the website, youngatheartfoundation.com. They have a button right here that says register to become a donor, or you can sponsor a Hope Kit that is 100% tax deductible. They'll take the funds that come in, buy some nice gifts for the kids, give it to the kids. They also set up like guests, like special people out there, like celebrities and stuff. So great organization. If you want to get in touch with Mike, give him a call at 323-396-9998 or email him at info@youngatheartfoundation.com. Shout out to Mike. Next up, Alternaverse is our home away from home. It's the place where we gather together as a family of comic book collectors and tell our sorrows and our joys and our ins and our outs, and we put it on film for you to see every week. So come Tuesdays, 4:30 to 7 if you're in Hyde Park, New York. It is located at 807 Violet Avenue, Hyde Park, New York, United States. It's run by our good friend Anthony, who is just one of the best guys in the comic world and the industry itself. You have to meet him. If you collect comics, you want to get 10% off your pull list. You want to start a pull list with them, give a call to Anthony. He'll set you up with a pull list. Bag and board every single one of your comics at no extra charge. So you can give them a call at 845-233-4234 or email them at alternaverse2@aol.com. The website is alternaverse.net. They have the biggest selection of comics in the Hudson Valley. They do comics, toys, cards. They have card tournaments every weekend. Pokemon, Lorcana, Magic, whatever you can think of. Give Anthony a call. He'll give you a schedule of all the stuff that's coming up. And last but not least, our channel here, The Council of Comics is at 737 subscribers. Cliff has been killing it on the lives. He recently talked to Toy Games about some stuff, and of course, the I think ultimate crisis quest of exceptional comics trivia is up there as well. They're very, very fun. They're very fun. I can't for one day to be on there myself because I'll be answering them with them. I'll be like, no, it's this. No, it's this. Come on, press the button. I am curious how you do it though. Like, is there a buzzer system inside?
There's a buzzer
StreamYard?
website that everyone's using, and then I see who came in what order.
Okay, it's very, very fun. Very fun. All right, and then we have other videos. Last week was 81.5 because of the weather, so we just took the things that we recorded, slapped them together, and gave you something for the week. But we will be back this week.
I
We're
was
supposed to have another
super
storm.
confused what
but-
it was.
I was like, wait, don't speak so soon, yeah.
Yeah, there is a storm coming on Tuesday, but it's expected from Monday into Tuesday. So I'm thinking by the time I go to the shop, the storm will be over. I'm
Bunch of
hoping.
wusses, just drive.
If not, you'll be getting 81.7.
Take a break.
Yeah, I'm like, why
Of
is
course,
everyone
you know,
covering-
future guy wants you to drive an hour. You know what I mean? Storm.
An hour.
So it
An
takes an
hour.
hour to get from Newburgh to. During the
Well,
time I
dude,
go,
let's be
at 4
clear.
o'clock,
You are Newburgh
Yeah.
adjacent. That's what makes it so much more for you.
I'm in New Windsor. Oh,
Right,
you better not
exactly.
try to
You're
find me. You better not
adjacent
try
to
find me.
Newburgh.
So that's like another 15,
Well,
20
you're going
minutes before you
slower,
even get to
taking weird
Marlboro.
roads because it takes you 40 minutes to get to Newburgh.
And
I
then it'll
live
take
a
you
mile
another
and a half
10,
from the
15 minutes to get to where I am, Green Shirt Guy. I don't
Well,
live
that's
by
your fault.
Alexis
That's your
Diner,
fault.
Newburgh. Like one spot. You live in Alexis Diner.
What?
Big city. It's a big city. All right, we're getting
I
off
remember
point
when
here.
it used to be my
Um,
horrendous track, and now it's nothing by comparison.
All right, yeah. So please like and subscribe below. All right. So I'm pretty sure the first. Have you guys seen anything else this week besides Echo?
Monarch finished up. The Legacy of Monsters.
Okay.
That was
really
I
good.
did watch some
Yeah.
stuff this week.
Monarch was really good. I enjoyed that. Kurt Russell.
Between,
Percy-
I mean, between the week of Cliff and the and this movie and Echo, I mean, there was just nothing left.
You
But
ever-
I
Monarch
watched
after
Percy
Friday-
Jackson.
I watched a little bit of Percy
I did
Jackson.
watch Percy Jackson. All right, wait. Before we get into stuff, let's see who's here. La Cruz is 1971 says, "Hey, Clip, what's good, guys? Lady Fantastic is waiting with bated breath.
There you go.
She's here for the game. Muster.
I will.
how do you
I
say
will
that?
not disappoint with this one. This is my favorite.
Yeah.
She says evening. She says evening council. Who else is in here? Bleecker Street is in here. What's good, Bleecker Street? Thank you for joining us. Yeah,
Reverend Bleeker in the house.
nice. All right, so let me see here. Echo. What we got to say about Echo?
It's
I
like
liked
too
it.
many things to say about Echo.
It was good.
Liked
I don't
it.
think it was
Yeah.
the best one, but I liked it.
Right, it was good. Did I need to focus on Echo? But do I really enjoy the actors in the cast? Yes. Did I
think-
love the grandmother?
I
Yes.
was gonna say I think the grandmother's the best character in the whole show.
You think?
That actress was killing it.
She really was. Everything.
And
they
I
gave
also
her.
like the grandfather too, to be fair. But I think the grandmother was probably the best. Doing the best work.
No, she really
Mm.
was. She sold every scene.
Mhm.
I like how the story absolutely solidified Kingpin's Netflix origins into the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't
Even though
even
some things are
shy.
different, like look at the hammer. It's definitely not the same hammer.
Yeah, but like that, dude, that's semantics. The point is like the concept absolutely didn't change.
How hard is it to get the similar hammer? Is it that hard? Was it that hard?
It's
Tell me
pretty
it was
hard.
hard.
Okay.
Look how
here's
hard
the
it
thing.
was to do convincing choreography. There was a lot of air punches that I was not
The
thrilled with.
Daredevil, I love the fight with Daredevil.
Well, to tell you, yeah, they couldn't mess that up.
That was
You know,
like the best fight in the. And you know, I'm not really a big fan of like the one shot fight like thing, like James Gunn uses it and stuff. But and that fight started out like I was like, oh, please don't let it do it. And when it stopped doing it, like very early on, I was like, oh, thank God. And then the fight was like that would always been the best fight for the
Yeah,
this show. It
He
was
used
kind
to
of
move
movie.
Billy
It was
Club
a
like he
night.
does in the comics. That was dope.
If you're focused on which hammer he used, you're really
Not
You're-
focused on it,
you're
creature guy.
nitpicking
I'm
on
just
something
making
that
an
is not
an
that big a deal.
observation.
It's not that big a deal. You're focusing.
It's
on
not
it
that
for
big
no-
a deal. You're
that
right.
Means, that means that there was no other problems to look at.
and there
No,
were other
there were
problems to
some
look at.
problems. There were some problems.
There were.
Yeah.
I don't consider the
I've
hammer
had-
a
I've
legit
had
problem.
Referee assessors tell me things. At one point, one of them was like, "Oh, well, your shoes aren't shined." I'm like, "If you're looking at my shoes in this game, that means I did everything else right."
Okay. So
That's all I'm saying. Like, if you're focused on the fact that the hammer just doesn't match, like, come on.
like I said, we're not focused on it. We're just acknowledging it.
I thought the opening scene with the ancient whatever people with the crap all over their face coming out of the pods, that took me out of it a little bit, but then I was over it really quickly.
I was trying to think if they were related to the characters in What If, the Native American characters,
They could be in an alternate
You know what I
universe
mean?
sort of way.
because
Maybe.
that water it was the blue thing. Remember that was what they got their powers from, like the Tesseract being in
Well, it was
the water
very
and all that.
reminiscent of Black Panther too, with
Yeah.
that mystical other realm, but still, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I thought Echo was okay.
The others, I'll tell the
I-
one. I mean, here's the thing, and it's not even a
Could have
complaint,
been better.
I think it's good, but the one thing that slightly took me out of it was everybody knows how to sign.
Well, everybody she's been around.
She hasn't been there in how many years, but they all know how to sign. Like,
I mean,
everybody
I don't
now-
think signing is something you lose though. And they were with
Well,
her for a while. Remember,
yes
she's
and
been
no.
like that. She's been like that since she was even smaller.
Not
so
her.
they would-
I'm talking
they would
her
have-
whole family. But if you
Yeah,
haven't
but they
used
had
it
to
for-
learn how to sign though to talk to
Yeah,
her.
but if you haven't used it in forever,
But the thing is, it seems like they all had plenty of reasons to continue using it.
I mean, I guess maybe.
Right, like it looks like, you know, they kept it up for the sake of like little codes, little gestures, you know.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, it is asking us to push, but I mean, you're asked to push a lot when it comes to any comic book show.
Correct.
Right?
No, correct. Correct.
Mhm.
I got over it fairly quickly, but a part of me is like, well, would they really still? And when this and like a couple characters, I'm like, would they really have learned it? I mean, like the uncle, her father's brother, who runs the bowling alley, would he really have learned? Maybe. Is he gonna keep up with it? Probably not. I don't know. I did like Biscuits, although he was a little ridiculous.
I like Biscuits. He was a cool character. He was good. I could see him. I'd like to see him on the big screen. I think he could be even funnier. What I guess if I had to say something bad about it, it would just be that the ending wasn't really big. You know,
I thought about that too, and then I was like, you know, it was kind of like a little bit refreshing that the answer wasn't like a big elaborate fist fight.
I did like that too.
You know, like I thought about that too. Like, wow, that wasn't like the most like big elaborate like ending, but it was like that's a lot different of an ending than like the normal thing.
Yeah, it
I
did
kinda
lead you to
thought,
think
well,
that she did something to him though.
Yeah,
Because remember, he was like, "What did you do? What did you do?" Like, but he still remember the post-credit scene. Spoiler alert. He sees a thing on the TV, and he's, you know, I guess he's thinking he's gonna run for mayor.
Well,
She healed
He wants to
him.
fix things. She wants to
Right,
fix,
she
wants to fix-
healed
But what
him.
did she heal him from?
His emotional damage. But see, that's the problem, right? When he could not, she didn't do a complete thorough healing, right? But that one terrible thing with his dad that he's clinging on to, she has taken that away from him. He lost his entire motivation for all the things he has done. She has just removed that. She has plucked him away from that, right? That's why he's left so discombobulated, because, you know, it's like, imagine if the thing that was your drive suddenly just wasn't it anymore, right? You know? And
What if she freed him to be even more of a monster?
Well, that's the thing, right? It could backfire. She took him away from a pain, and it left him to think that, you know, I can do better, which would inspire Mayor Fisk, and that'll be a good storyline, right?
Well, that's supposedly what they say the next storyline is. That's
So
gonna lead in-
that could be very interesting and a lot of fun, and make him a more challenging adversary for Daredevil, because now he's going to be facing somebody who sees the world entirely different all of a sudden than the last time he encountered him.
Mhm. And
So-
they
Well,
did
that's the case in the comics anyway.
Right, which is right, and that's what we want, right? Like, we really do want that. And I don't know if y'all heard this, but the new writing staff for the Daredevil series said,
Punisher.
listen, we need some time to read these Daredevil comics to get up to speed, to tell you a new story. And like, I don't know about the rest of you, but most of the fans online reacted like, ah! Like,
I was really
I
excited
shouldn't have done
because
that
he
to begin
confirmed that they confirmed that the Netflix shows are all canon.
well, that was
So
fun, but I'm just
They
saying
don't,
the
they don't have
fact
to tiptoe over anything anymore.
right, but also the fact that the new writing staff is like, give us a chance to read these comics.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ah!
Well,
It's gonna be
why
great.
you would have hired a writing staff in the past that hadn't read the comics is beyond.
Well, because we all know why, right? Because you want to
The
do
dark
some-
times of the MCU. The dark times.
The thing is, when you do that, you get some people who do tell you some fresh stories, right? But if they also stray too far away, then you also get where the fan backlash. So here we are.
Yeah, but that's what you have an editor and Kevin Feige for. If you stray too far, you're like, no, closer to this. But if you have no background to stray from, like, what are we
Well, he
doing?
bit off. Kevin Feige bit off more than he could chew.
As with anyone, which is why these dudes in these roles always worry me. Always.
But he seems to be correcting the ship, as far as I see. You know what I mean? So Echo is going to be the last thing before Deadpool, and then you'll have a little break, and then, well, you'll have like a year break, and then you'll start getting the new stuff, which I think is going to be great. Echo was good. I give Echo like a 7. I like the way it focused on the culture of the people, how your ancestors there to help you. You know what I mean? That was real touching at the end when the mom showed up. She's like, I'm always with you, blah, 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 this and that. She even got her little level up costume. Now I want to see her in the movies. If she's become this part of this Kingpin circle, and Kingpin is going to be one of the major villains of Spider-Man 4, I want to see Echo. I want to see her level up.
I think Echo will probably appear in a Spider-Man.
I kind of
Or
want to see
Daredevil
her.
as well.
Well, since they made a lot of that like stuff like canon now, like you could have like a crazy like girl team up of like Echo and Misty Knight and Colleen and
Yeah.
she could be in all those like kind of shows like that too.
No, they will all be in their street level shows, and of course, Netflix now calls it the Defenders Saga, right? So, but I do expect the next Defenders project to be a Defenders film, right? So, like that's what
Theater film or streaming?
No, theater film, not no Netflix thing or Disney Plus thing, a theater film. And if we're really lucky, we can get the hardcore Defenders, the street level heroes, and that whole Doctor Strange.
I think they're working on Midnight Suns in the realm that what you're talking about.
Well, we can, but the thing is, the beauty of it is we can have both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and you can piggyback if you plan it really well. You can piggyback. You know, the first time is like Doctor Strange is like, there's something wrong with our city, but you folks seem to already know that and draw them together and make a Defenders. And then after that, it's like, oh, there are other things very wrong with this city. And you have people like Blade show up, be like, let me tell you about it. And then we can piggyback and move forward if we want. I'm excited for the potential, as I've always been excited for the potential.
Yeah, because the Netflix shows were great, in my opinion.
They were
As
good.
a universe, as a
They were
universe
good.
in
They were
itself.
good world building, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, and now they're gonna really expand on that and push on that. I can't wait. The key to me is when the Punisher shows back up. The Punisher, when he showed up in Daredevil season 2, that upped everything because he was the Punisher. John Bernthal was the Punisher, and he got 2 seasons. Remember, of his own show.
They were good. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
they
those
were
too.
good. That first season was great. And those are the people who did the Punisher show are the showrunners for the new Daredevil show. So
Very important, by the way. Very important.
this is looking very, very good. All right.
I'd give
Real
Echo,
quick.
I think it's 7.5. I thought
That's what I was
the
gonna
first
ask.
episode, strongest one for me though. Was like with
Really?
that fight scene was probably the strongest episode.
Yeah, with
for me.
Daredevil, yeah, that was the strongest one for me too.
That was like an 8 of an episode, but the rest of it like 7.5. The other exciting though, like, there was a really good exciting scene with the train. Like I really like that train scene. Like,
Train
pretty
scene
good.
was
Train scene was
dope.
great.
yeah.
I like the 4th episode. I think the 4th episode is the strongest.
What's good, Durs? Durs is in the house. Yeah, I give it like a 7. I give it a 7. All the haters out there, just keep hating. Like I've come to a conclusion. I'm just gonna watch these things how if I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. Some people push it way beyond, man. Like people are calling this like trash. It's horrible, and I'm like, come on, man.
It was enjoyable. It
You know what I
wasn't
mean?
the greatest,
Come
but it
on.
wasn't bad. It was enjoyable.
Yeah.
I don't see
Like-
her showing up for any.
You enjoy it if you're a comic book person. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
not every comic book that we read is Endgame. You
But
know what
even
I mean?
still, I know comic book people who did not enjoy it to the fullest. Like they really loved the characterization that took place, but they were like, "Hey, why was this TVMA when really there's only 3 scenes that were worth being TVMA?" That's a valid point. With the choreography for the fighting was not always 100%. Fine, and again. If these are things you show up for that you're looking forward to and they let you down, then yeah, I get it. But you're right. There's a lot of people out there who can't wait to hate. It's like, oh, I watched 1 episode and I couldn't look back. And I'm like, really? Couldn't look back?
Hold on, this thing here. All right. Bill, you said you watched MonsterVerse?
Monarch. Legacy of
Monarch.
Monsters.
How
Yeah.
did that finish out?
That was good. That was a good strong finish. It definitely set up for like a second season.
And it gave us a new Titan that's probably going to appear in the Godzilla vs. Kong movie or Godzilla X Kong movie.
Did it? They don't have Apple TV, man.
I do. Oh, Killers of the Flower Moon is now officially on Apple TV, and that's what I'm watching tonight.
Very good.
Yeah. I wonder if Kamaria has Apple TV. Must find out. All right. Well, that was
Murder at the End of the World. That was my other one this week.
How was that?
It was interesting. It was interesting. I don't want to give it away if anybody wants to watch. It's a murder mystery that takes place in modern times. They use the internet and a bunch of other things, and without giving the ending away, it makes its feelings felt about some current issues that are going on. Let's just say.
Okay. I gotta check that out. Larry's in the house. He says, "Is someone okay? He has to do a lot more to completely bring me back to trusting Marvel." Don't worry, Deadpool will bring you back. Deadpool will bring you nice and comfy.
It will take more than 1 movie to bring me back to trusting. All right, like
I get it. But I got a little faith in Feige. I get it.
no,
I feel like
faith
Feige's seen the error of his ways. I feel like he has.
These things are massive. These are massive.
You have a lot of faith in
massive environment.
Feige.
Well, and I'm not necessarily defending Feige, but how much of it too is he has to? He's not like he runs Disney. He's got bosses too. Maybe
Yeah,
the
but they've
the
kind of
upper
been
level-
hands off. But I think they kind of came in.
You
and
don't
told
know
them
that. How
something.
do you know that? You're in
I
those
think they
boardrooms?
came in. I think they came in the room and said, things have got to change.
Well, my point
I
is,
think they came in and like, oh, hold up, turn Echo down a little bit. We know we said
Yeah.
TVMA, but we really want like, you know, a
Yeah.
PG-13
No,
show.
what I'm saying is, before that, you don't know how much of that how much rope he was given, you know, to go with. They could have said, no, we want you to do X, Y, and Z. He's like, okay, well, I got to stay inside this box, and that's what.
I'm sure there's a box he had to stay in, but I think that box got smaller recently.
Oh, certainly, I'm not disagreeing with that. What I'm saying is, before that, though, you don't know how big it was to begin with.
It's true.
So
Very
some of the
true.
stuff that we're complaining about might not completely been his fault.
Yeah, but when you're in charge, you take the fall.
You're in charge,
Yeah.
but you still have a boss.
You still, yeah, but,
But
You're
you
the head
still-
of security
but
at the
you
school
still
that
But
you
he's
taking
work
saying
it.
you still take,
You're the head
you
of the
still
security,
take the
security
fall.
at the
That's
school
what
that
Bobby
you
wants
work
for
Yeah.
at, but the
hardball.
principal tells you to do X, Y, and Z. And
Yeah, but
and
it doesn't matter. Once you're
That's
paid
my-
that amount of money and you're an executive, it's your
You
fault.
still have a boss. He doesn't
Yeah,
run
they're
business.
gonna get their little thing, whatever. But you have a massive amount that you have to claim now.
Correct, but what I'm saying
So-
is, even at that, he's how many rungs below running the whole show. So if the CEO,
He's
tells
not
you X,
that
Y, and
many
Z,
rungs below Iger.
huh?
He's not that many runs
He's
below
more than you
Iger.
think. I promise you, he's more than you think.
He's the head of a
He runs
studio.
Marvel. He runs Marvel Studios. He does not.
Yeah.
Run, he runs a major division, but there are people well positioned between that. I promise you.
I'm sure there's a few. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure there's a few. All right. Box office news. Jason
see.
Statham
I do want to see
is
this.
beekeeping out there, people. Brought in 19 million, and the Martin Luther King weekend is not even over yet. Wonka brought in another 10. Migration brought in 8. Anyone but you 8. Aquaman is still making money. Wowzers. They're over 100 domestic. Night Swim made 5. It's pretty spread out amongst all these movies. Some people would think this is a horrible weekend, but you know, for Jason Statham and making 20 million, that's not bad for it. Right there, he doubled whatever that movie cost to make in this first weekend. Everything else is profit after that.
He
all
probably
profit.
makes 10, 12 by himself.
Probably. Color Purple, Book of Clarence made 3 million. Iron Claw. We only get under 1 million when we get to the Hunger Games, which is still making money. Godzilla -1 still made $1 million. I think it broke 100 million worldwide. Spoiler alert: does Godzilla die at the end of this?
Not
Can there
really.
be a sequel? Should I say that?
Oh
There
yeah,
can be a sequel.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is Godzilla, man. They might as well have said it at the end, like Godzilla will return, like James Bond and stuff.
And you should expect that movie in 2 years. Godzilla -1, 2. Expect that because that's gonna happen. Still haven't seen Wonka. I want to see Wonka. I haven't seen a lot of these movies, man. Like they did a study recently. They said 20% of the movie theater audience has stopped going to the movies, and it's been a big hit. It's been a big hit. So a lot of more people are waiting, like can wait it out to watch it at home now. Going to the movie theater is now reserved for like those big movies like Deadpool 3 or Avatar.
Some
You
of
know
that
what I
has
mean?
to do with
Star Wars
everyone's-
used to be like that. I don't know if Star Wars is like that anymore.
I think some
because-
of that also has to do with people's discretionary income is not what it once was.
Yeah, that has to do with that too. It's down 20%. And if you're gonna spend that money, that movie better be amazing.
The last thing you want is to walk out of the movie theater and be like, I ate ramen for 2 months to watch this garbage.
Oh man. And you went and saw The Flash. You ate ramen for 2 months to see The Flash. Michael
Yeah.
Keaton back as Batman. How exciting.
Listen, like
were having
to
a
look
lot
at-
of mixed
from the
feelings
average
in the
worker's
theater.
perspective, we went to go to the movies. The two of us went to the movies. It was $40 for the tickets, and it was $40 for the food. For two people, it came out to almost $80, $85 to watch it on a pleasant screen. You know what I mean? They have the lean back recliners and stuff like that. You know, a nice experience.
You better make nice with that
$80.
lady. You can go for $8.
That's all right. They can keep their theater.
Okay. Then I don't want to hear you complaining about spending $40.
Well, I can't. I'm not gonna.
'Cause
Well,
I
I'm
go
gonna
see-
apologize to her
so for that,
because
I
I can't. I gotta
No,
go spend more money
I'm
at
just
another
sa-
place.
Well, don't bitch about it then, because I can go see 5
I'll
movies. for
bitch
the
about it all I
$10
want.
for
It's
what?
my money, and I'm putting it down.
All right then.
Shoot, I'd rather pay more money at a place than go
Uh-huh.
spend less over there.
You're an idiot. You'd rather spend more money?
Yes. Why would I? Knowing that situation, why would I want to spend my money at her place? Just because I want to pay for a cheaper ticket, I'm supposed to walk in there and say, "Oh my god, I'm like so sorry that you acted that way that you did. I want to pay less money." She can kick rocks.
I've never
Listen.
had a problem going in there.
Sam, just
Kick
come over
rocks.
to Newport because our theater is lovely and the guys there are much friendlier. And I've
Owned
been
by the
having a
same
wonderful time.
people.
That's okay. We don't need to
Oh,
sit
thank
together.
you. Thank you for telling me that. Won't be going over there as well. They can kick rocks. Thank you for telling me that.
So when you have less money and then I don't want to hear about it. Oh, I can't buy this cover this week because I don't have any money. Well, you spend twice, 3 times.
Well, at least
And then-
Gavin-
and then you'll
at least
remind
Gavin
you'll
threw
remind me
40
of
bucks.
my decision. You'll remind me of my decision. I'll be like, you know what? Thank you for letting me know. I don't need that cover.
Uh-huh.
All right. Anything special about this top 10?
Godzilla made another $1 million. Like that was the.
And Iron Claw is excellent. Go see it.
Oh, Andre saw Boys in the Book. He said it was good. They took the for school. They went.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay. Well, there's your top 10 because I know Lady Fantastic is just jumping around, wondering when. Right now, Lady Fantastic. Right now. The
Epic
Lord
blue
of the
one.
Rings. The Lord of the Rings. The Lord of the Rings. No, we don't want that. All right. I'll let you guys go ahead. Go ahead.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a good Saturday. It was my Saturday afternoon movie. I started it around noon. I knew it was going to end after 4 when I did it. So
Yeah, man. This movie.
Bill, I wish I just gone
4
to your
hours,
house so I
bro.
could have watched it straight in peace and quiet.
oh yeah, it was fun. You know, 'cause I got the big screen and everything. So it was definitely enjoyable.
Yeah. I love this movie. This is one of my favorite of the trilogy.
This is my
I'll
favorite
still-
of the 3.
From not having read the books, I just, from my opinion, of course, I would have stuck with the original versions instead of the extended. But I haven't read the books, so
So
I don't
You
know.
really didn't feel like this one delivered the most bang for your extended experience?
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
for your
Extended,
buck,
Extended already
you're
dragged.
getting a lot for your buck. You know what I mean? But as far as a movie, I can see why they cut out all those other parts.
Well, because if
You know
you
what I mean?
haven't read the book, you won't know what you're missing.
Yeah, but the original just makes it move smoother.
No, it just
Like,
makes it.
If
more
you play
linear.
this movie in the theater, the extended version, you don't get as many people in love with it because they're
No,
bored.
but you know what? It was
for a
already
little
long.
part of the
It was
movie.
already long as hell in the theater.
It
and
was.
also there's
Mhm.
things that if these 2 extended editions particularly really help flesh out things that happen in the movie that people don't think about. The first time I saw this in the theater and Frodo and Sam disguise themselves with the cloaks, my buddy next to me is like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh, it's the gifts they got from Galadriel." They're like, "What gifts from Galadriel?"
Right.
Right, yeah.
You know,
It was
so-
like you had to like watch the movie and like watch the extended edition before you went to the next part at the theater.
The beginning of this movie gives us the origin of Schmeagol.
yep.
Is that like the book or no?
No,
Close.
it's similar.
How
but no.
close? How close? Like, what are the differences?
It's a little more clear, as Green Shirt Guy said last week. It's a little more clear that they're basically water hobbits, right?
Right.
And here they don't really get into a lot of detail about it. It's just kind of like, look, it's implied he's hobbit-like. But also, I mean, that wasn't a major change. I thought that was a good opening scene because, of course, we need more setup for Smeagol Golem. So I thought that was pretty good.
What's funny too, if you think about it, is and they don't really go into it too much. I mean, they show that he changes over time, but that's like when he took the ring was like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
So
And then,
like,
of course, the ring kept him alive, too.
right.
It's so twisted.
Hmm.
We get, let's see, what are some things? We get the mouth of Sauron.
Yep, that's right.
It
The
appears.
mouth of Sauron.
Yeah.
The guy
It
that comes
appears,
out of the gate
mm-hmm.
and then throws the Mithril shirt at Gandalf.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
not. Yeah, that's not in the original. That's in the book though,
Yep.
Hmm.
We get the Path of the Dead.
which is my absolute favorite scene in the book. They did a fairly good job in the movie, but that's my favorite part of the 3 books. It's absolutely my favorite part.
The Path of the Dead was what? What part
When
was
they
that?
travel through the haunted mountain of
The Dimble
Dwemer-
Road.
Wasn't that in the original?
It was, but
very
much
brief.
not fleshed out.
Not as
It was
fleshed
all
out.
like, "What say you? What
Yeah.
say you?" That part.
Like, do you mean the scene where where the spirit comes out of the mountain and says, "We will fight"?
Mhm.
Right.
Yes.
That part wasn't. Yeah,
And the lead up to it as well.
yeah. Because in
you
the
don't-
original,
'cause Arwen,
you didn't
Arwen,
know.
I don't think goes and talks to him before they go, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So, because in the original, he gives them a choice, and the next time you see them, they're
walking.
jumping off the boat, like surprising them.
No,
at the battle.
I'm talking
Oh.
even before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When they're
Yeah.
up on when they're up on that mountain pass for no reason, waiting to muster to leave. that always made me laugh, but it's fine.
I talked about this last week, but we actually get Saruman's death in the extended version.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Wait, we didn't get his death in the
no, you see
Nope.
him dead, but you don't see how he dies.
Right. Here we actually
Oh,
watch it happen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
and
goes
the
off the
stuff with
tower.
Mary and
That was
Pippin
funny. I was
in the
watching it and I
storehouse.
was like, he's speaking very quietly to just yell all the way down there. Like,
Well, he's a wizard.
Hmm.
The stuff with the storehouse and Mary and Pippin, that's completely not in there.
Yeah.
Like none of it's in there.
Oh, wait. Lady F coming with the hard facts.
Yeah, I thought the ring was lost in the origin for 2,000 years, and Smeagol had the ring for 500 years.
Yeah, you're
Smeagol
probably close. You're probably
Smeagol on
right,
his
yeah.
birthday. Smeagol killed Deagle and had the ring in his
Right.
possession for about 500 years.
Yeah, that's right.
So what? It was 500 years, not 900 years.
But, yeah.
Yeah, that's still major extended life.
Hmm.
Yep, he falls in the spiked wheel. He drops the Palantir
I
in the
could have
water.
swore in the original you saw how he died.
that was a
No,
cool
Why?
part.
just
Why?
see-
Why
you-
would?
You know the
Why
scene
wouldn't
where
they show that?
you know the scene where he comes over the water wheel, and you see him go.
Yeah.
That's all you see in the original. You see him on it and going over.
Really?
Yes.
That makes me think. Like, why would? Okay,
Dude, time. They're trying to maximize time.
Right.
I know.
We also get the houses of healing when
Which is a
Aragorn.
great scene.
Yeah, Aragorn tends to the wounds of Faramir, Eowyn, and Mary and
Mhm.
Minas Tirith.
Which
We
goes
get-
more into the stuff with the book too.
Absolutely. We get Denethor's madness. We get his mental deterioration. Is it Denethor? Am I saying it right?
It's Denethor.
Okay, Denethor's mental deterioration is further explored. We see his descent into madness more explicitly. The
So,
Palantir.
Denethor.
Lady Fantastic
Son of
says
a
Christopher Lee was pissed that he was cut out of the last 2 movies. The last 2 Lord of the Rings movies. But then Peter Jackson and Lee made up when Jackson got Lee to reprise Sauron role in the Hobbit movies.
Right.
Hmm.
All true.
Okay.
So passes Denethor, son of Echelon. I love that scene.
We get the scene with the Palantir with Pippin,
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
which of course
not-
leads to his encounter with Sauron and rescue by Gandalf.
And it makes the stuff with the gate and them going to the gate make a hell of a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would Sauron think that a halfling is with them?
Yeah. Exactly. We also get the voice of Saruman after the destruction of Isengard. Treebeard and the Ents confront Saruman in Orthanc, where he attempts to manipulate them with his words. Baby.
Right. Your staff is broken.
We did not get, and Peter Jackson, I'm told, I read, I could be wrong, Lady F will back me up. Peter Jackson wanted to do an extended flashback revealing the origin of the Witch King of Angmar, but that did not come to happen.
I think they had that written, but it never got filmed.
Right. So, like,
Yeah,
that
that
was
sounds
something
right.
he really wanted that they did not get to do.
Yes.
You mean in this movie?
In this movie, yes. Because in the books, we know the Witch King of Angmar was once a human. He was corrupted by Sauron, by one of the rings. Under Sauron's influence, he was feared and powerful. He became leader of the Nazgul, right? Of the Ring Wraiths, right?
Mm-hmm. But they show some of that in The Hobbit, right?
Yes, because
sort of.
a little bit, just more than certainly just enough to whet your appetite, but not the explicit thing. But he goes to war with Arnor, right? That city, right? And then of course, after they're defeated, his forces retreats to the land of Mordor, and the Witch King's ultimate goal at this point in time is to corrupt Frodo and retrieve the One Ring for Sauron. And so essentially these elements were what he wanted to have play out in this film. We just never got it. We got the
Comics by the base is slapping that like button like I slapped Cliff's hot dog. Whoa!
Jeez.
What's going on here?
Matt and I have a thing, and that's okay. I love him. Thank you, Matt.
Wait,
You're the best.
what? Thank you for stopping by. Let me get that. Okay, sorry, Cliff. Go ahead. How to put that in there?
The lighting of the
lighting of the beacons was pretty
lighting
dope.
of Gondor.
That's what I wanted you to say at the beginning. The beacons are lit.
Oh yeah.
And Gondor and Rohan will answer.
That was awesome. We also get in the extended, we get Frodo and Sam at Osgiliath, where they they're disguised as
Gilead.
As orcs.
And they
That's
witness
right, because
the battle
originally
of
you see
Gilead.
them walking through. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And those are all the major
And
notes.
more of the stuff where Sam goes and rescues him in the tower. That's extended as well.
Yes. But those are my keynotes on what we got out of the extended edition. What they did not need to extend was that long ass wrap up ending.
I like the ending.
I do like it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. If they really wanted to follow the books, there's another story at the very ending that they did not do.
What's the story?
So at the end of the book, when the hobbits everyone kind of departs and goes back to where they came from, when they get back to the Shire's overrun.
Really?
So they have to battle and take back the Shire.
From who?
But they're all I can't remember his name. It's Sharky, and I can't remember. There's some orcs, but they have to take back the Shire, but they've been battling with all this other stuff. So the four of them band together with a bunch of hobbits and fight and take back the Shire. But they didn't.
Really?
They teased that, if you remember, in Fellowship, where Galadriel's showing Frodo what would happen if they fail their quest. You see some of what could have been an extended portion of that.
In the book, Sharky is actually Saruman in disguise.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. I couldn't remember. That's right.
I believe
they have to fight to take the Shire back at the very end of the book. That's like the last main problem, if you will. You know, there's always problems within a book or a movie. That's the last main conflict.
Okay.
So they could have done that, but they didn't. I think movie-wise, it works better because you're like, after you're saying goodbye to everybody, and then, oh, by the way, now we got to show you this battle at the end. It really kind of loses its.
No, and Peter Jackson went into detail about why he went with the changes he went with.
Just pause real quick, because the real world is a lot more important. Kenneth Bird said, I just wanted to everybody know this month, the due 29th. There's something about he's having a heart operation in Virginia, and he'll let everybody know how he's doing, I guess, afterwards. But Kenneth, our prayers are with you, my friend. We are here with you. We hope the operation goes well. And, you know, just watch our videos and tune into us while you're going through it. We'll be there for you. All right.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I mean,
sorry. 29th, I will be having. That's the 20th. Okay. Got you. Got you, my friend.
I mean,
mm-hmm.
A lot of the stuff that's added back in gives you more background on what's going on as far as the story goes. But as far as, I mean, what makes Aragorn, you get all of that in this one. So the houses of healing, big thing in the book, because there's all these different prophecies that are talked about when the king will come back, and they show them all in the movie. Whereas in the original version, it's all cut out for story or for time and to make it more linear. But this is, you know, they say that the hands of the king are hands of healing. When he goes to the paths of the dead, which, like I said, again, is my favorite part of the book. He's going to make these men who broke their oath years ago hold their oaths, and they give the language in the book is so much better because he stands on this rock and he's like, no, you will listen to me. I'm the once and future king, and you will fulfill your oath whether you like it or not. Not like I'm going to convince you. Like, you will do this. It's the way it's written is gorgeous. So there's a lot of little things. So by the time you get to him ascending the throne, it makes all the, of course he's the king. Did you notice too that Denethor is not sitting on the throne? He's sitting on his own throne that's next to the white throne.
Yep. Well done.
And what exactly is he eating, by the way? Because he was eating tomatoes, and then all of a sudden blood comes out of his mouth.
No, that's tomato juice, like cherry tomato, like.
No. There's difference between cherry juice and red, like dark red blood coming out of your mouth. Go back and watch that scene again.
It was an extra raw steak.
He's eating chicken though.
Oh, we don't want extra raw chicken. That'll kill you.
Ronaldo, were you referring to the Children of Hurin?
What's that?
It's one of the short stories. And Hurin was betrayed by the Oath Breakers.
Well, and that's what, and yeah.
Okay, and that story is from J.R.R. Tolkien, 3 Great Tales, or whatever. However,
well, there's that, but I mean, they refer to that. I mean, there's a lot of little things that they add back in. That, you know, if you've read the book, you're like, oh yeah, okay, that part. Oh yeah, okay, that part. I don't know.
It's just there's so many of his works that like were revised after his death to then be published.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, his family had a hand in it, so that it would be, yeah. But yeah, damn. And of course, there is. If you own a copy of that book, there is another map in it. Another map. So that's your reward for being a completionist. There's another map, baby.
Yo, the elephants in this movie were crazy, son.
That was fun.
Crazy.
How about Rond?
Oh my god! Also,
Rond, the battering ram.
Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
Go ahead, Cliff.
No, I was just gonna say, I don't know why of the 3 movies, this is the one where Orlando Bloom does something for me.
Why? Because
like,
in all of them.
I know, but like it's only this one where he finally like has a look that I start to appreciate. And of course, modern Orlando Bloom, oh my god, is my daddy. So like, I just have to throw that in there for Orlando Bloom watchers.
I'll,
then you
I'll
gotta
say this.
watch Gran Turismo.
Oh boy,
Oh yeah.
he's gonna have a Gran Turismo, all right. The the moment in this movie when I went to the theaters, right, that had me I just love moments like this is when they're in Mordor and they're surrounded by all the armies, and Aragorn is just like, for Frodo, and then they
Yeah.
run. I was like, yo, let's go, let's get it. I love
I
that.
just
part
love
of the
that
movie.
how even before that, where he's going up, riding up and back and forth. He says, "There will be a time when the
that
courage of
day,
men will
not
fail,
today."
but not this day." I was like,
It's on the poster where he has that little light thing, and like the spider is there.
Yes.
Like that, like the whole spider thing was really good.
I think that's extended too, isn't the stuff with Sheila a
Him
little
and Sheila,
longer?
yeah, because we don't even hear her speak in the regular edition, right?
Right.
Here, there's actually, we get some murmur, we get some whispers.
Yeah. How about when they're halfway up the stairs to Kirathungal and they're sleeping? I'm watching with Darren. I'm like, there's no chance. Look, I don't move a whole lot in my sleep, but there's zero chance I'm sleeping on the edge of that. There's no way. If you twitch at all, you're done.
I mean, on the other hand, they were so exhausted that,
I mean, maybe.
all I know is that the fact that their bodies weren't absolutely, well, actually, no. Truly, at the end, Frodo is physically and emotionally destroyed.
Yeah, Smeagol is the hero of the story.
Mm,
If it wasn't for Smeagol, he would
well,
have been out.
so here's the thing.
He would have been out.
Tolkien said this, and that's one of my. I mean, if I have any nitpicky things about this movie, the part where Sam has the ring and thinks about it before he gives it back to Frodo, that's not in the book. In the book, he just gives it back. So Tolkien has long said Sam's really the hero of the movie because he's the only person. He's the only person. Well, he's the only person who willingly, without problem, gives the ring back.
Maybe I'm thinking of it not the hero, but like if it wasn't for Smeagol stopping Frodo.
Well, Sam would have stopped him, but
how?
Stopped him.
No,
He
I don't
would
think
have
Sam
done
would
it.
have seen him.
No.
Sam was the get stuff done. They should have just given the ring to Sam.
The problem is it saves us from a darker turn. Sam would have done what he knew was absolutely right to do, but it would have destroyed him. He would have been the character that ends the story destroyed, right?
I like that.
Instead, Frodo is the character that ends the story destroyed.
a lot.
But
what if Lord of the Rings? What if Sam killed Frodo?
Well, have you seen the meme from where it's Frodo walking onto the boat, and then he just turns and looks. There's that where he turns and looks at him to kind of wave goodbye. There's a meme where he walks on the boat, he turns and looks at the other three hobbits, and he looks down and he opens his hand, ring's still in it.
Yo, the whole process literally destroyed Frodo.
Yeah,
he was done. At the end of that movie, he was done. He was like, "You can't convince me to stay here. I'm so done with this place. I'll see you later."
What I've noticed this time in watching it, and maybe it just hit home more, when the four of them are sitting in the not the leaky cauldron, the name of the bar. Anyway, the where they're sitting in the pub at the end. The four of them are sitting there talking, and kind of like, it's interesting. It almost looked like four old war veterans who are in the same unit, who come back and are now just kind of getting together every once in a while, and they're like, life's boring. After all this, life's boring. We're happy to be back, but we can't readjust back into normal life now.
Yep.
But when we're together, we're happy.
Yeah,
because when they're together, they know they have that intimacy. They understand.
Right.
Lady Fantastic Frodo saw Gollum's end when he told him that if he got the ring again, he'll be destroyed. when he bites the ring off Frodo's finger and gets the ring, he was already falling into the fires of Mount Doom at that point.
Yep. Well, and if you remember, even Gandalf says at one point, I think Gollum will have something to say before this is all said and done. We'll have an important role before this is all said and done.
Now, I know, is Sauron destroyed or just his ability to be in this world destroyed?
More or less, he's destroyed because the majority of what is left of him is in that ring.
Okay. I know there's no other books after this, but there was a little something he wrote where he started a little story, and he said it was basically the Fourth Age and that there were whispers of a darkness that was reigniting or something. I don't know if you guys are really into the lore like that. Like, do you know of that last story?
Well, if I read that book,
No.
I don't think.
It's not a book, but it's like his like, what if he would have wrote another book and he did an interview and he said what it would be?
He wrote parts of other things that his son kind of put together and published after the fact, or his son finished based on notes that his father had. But some of them I haven't read myself because I have them. And, when you have kids, you don't have as much time. But
yeah. All right. Yeah, the ending for this is mad long.
That's okay though.
I was
You've been with these characters for 6 hours or 7 hours at this point. You can't say goodbye to each one of them.
We know you can, Mr. Guy.
There is a theory. There's another theory too that
12 hours by now.
where Frodo wakes. The scene where Frodo wakes up in bed at the end, again, where he's been convalescing for however long. There's another theory that he doesn't know Legolas's name because he sits up and he says, "Oh, Gandalf." And then the two hobbits that are his cousins, of course, he knows their name, so they're laughing or whatever. And then Aragorn comes to the door and he mouths Aragorn. And then Legolas comes to the door and he goes, "Oh," and doesn't say his name. And then you, Gimli, and he goes, "Gimli." So like Aragorn's the only one. Legolas is the only one. He goes, "You."
All right, yeah. So obviously the next Lord of the Rings is a prequel to this. It's an animated movie that's coming out. I went back and looked at the lore, and I looked at the first age with Morgoth and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, man. I can see why they haven't even attempted to try to do it, because that's the story I want to see.
It's dark,
but I don't know if they'll ever get to it. Like, who owns the rights to that story?
Probably the family still, I would imagine.
Yeah. That's a big one right there. That's a big one. All right, so let's get into our...
Do they want to do the Silmarillion and the slog that large chunks of that is?
Did I?
Yeah, I said, do they plan on doing that? Because there's chunks.
Well, they threw that in the Hobbit, I think.
They threw parts of the Silmarillion all over the Hobbit, especially the extended edition.
Yeah.
Which maybe we'll address that at a different part this year.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that Hobbit stuff later.
It's funny that we ended up watching these, because I was planning on watching these 6 in a row, basically the week leading up to Christmas. And I got the Hobbits done, and you guys are like, "Oh, we're gonna watch this." I'm like, "All right, well, I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm not watching them 6 times." So the Hobbits in rewatching are actually very good. There's some spots
I enjoy the
Hobbits.
I actually don't think I ever watched the extended edition.
I
have never watched the Hobbit extended edition. I have to watch them.
I went to a birthday party, and the main theme of the birthday party was watching the 3 Hobbit films extended, and I was completely engrossed with them. I was there for freaking 13 hours, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
They're shorter than these.
Yeah,
the longest one's just over 3.
Yeah.
All right. So let's give our numbers. Phil, you're up first.
Return of the King is like a solid 8, probably 8.5. Like, yeah, solid 8 to 8.5. This is a great movie. I don't know. Like, epic battles. It's an epic fantasy. It's like the epic conclusion. And I probably still like Two Towers better.
Cliff?
9.
9.
Even though the ending still, I don't mind that we're saying goodbye to everybody. The ending still drags for me, even after all these years. And no matter what, because of what this did to me in the movie theater, whenever the ending starts, I immediately have to pause and pee every single time.
Nah.
Like now, and because I could not pee in the theater that night. And when I got up from my chair, I was holding on to my friend for dear life. And he's like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I have to pee so bad." And then we're at the Stinta, so I can't even get to the bathroom because the bathrooms are overflowing. And I'm like, "Please." So now we're in the parking lot, so I can pee in the dark in the parking lot because it was so horrible. You know? God bless. God bless that dude.
Greaser guy, what is your number?
Okay, so remember I said before we started this is my favorite one. It's my favorite book. I think they did a really good job getting as much as they can into this movie and keeping it fairly close. I do have a couple little nitpicky things, but that's just me. Remember, if I gave Fellowship a 9.2, Two Towers got a 9. I'm sorry, Fellowship got a 9.5. Two Towers got a 9.2 because it's my second favorite, or my least favorite of the three. This I give a 10. This is a 10 for me.
Wow.
This is one of my favorite movies. This is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Okay. I give it a 9.5. I like this movie a lot. I mean, I like the original one a little more than extended, but extended still was great. And I thought it was a perfect conclusion to a trilogy. It wrapped up everything. The messages that were given in it, everything, boom, 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 was right there. It was perfect. It's one of the best movies ever made, in my opinion. All right, so we kind of
and
about
this is
a
the one
9.
Got all the Oscars. Now,
Yeah,
granted, it's Lifetime Achievement Award Oscars, but you know.
Yeah, Oscars and Oscars. What it is. All right, so next week we begin Back to the Future trilogy. So we will do Back to the Future Part 1 next week. Make sure you do that. That is your homework. It's going to be 3 weeks of Back to the Future. I love Back to the Future. Steven Spielberg greatness right there.
That's Robert Zemeckis.
Yeah, it's Spielberg. You know,
let's watch a guy go back into the future.
It's got the Spielberg stamp of approval.
Yeah. So that'll be.
A guy goes in the past and his mom tries to have sex with him.
Perfect.
What it is?
All right. Let me just say peace out to everybody that's in the comments. Las Cruces 1971. Thank you for joining us today. Lady Fantastic, you have been amazing today. Thank you for all your information on Lord of the Rings. Hopefully you are just as versed in Back to the Future. Bleecker Street Comics, thank you for joining us today.
Should write me.
Collecting with Durs is in the house today. Thank you, Durs, for joining us. Larry Jackson's in the house. Thank you, Larry, for always joining us. TM Nerdy is in the house. Thank you, TM Nerdy. Yeah. Never heard of this movie. Thank you for joining us. Shout out to Kenneth Bird. He's going to be going on Operation. All the prayers are with you, Kenneth. Hope everything goes well. Comics by the Bay is in the house. You know, he's slapping Cliff's hot dog out there. I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, it's a whole thing, I'm sure. Evil is in the house. What up, Evil? Thank you for joining us today. Evil and Lady Fantastic going back and forth in the comment section. All right, yep, that's it. All right, so thank you guys for tuning in today. If you did not hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. We will be on again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. for new keys and hot comics of the week. Thank you, Lady Fantastic. You are wonderful as well. Tomorrow, 8 p.m., 5 p.m. Pacific, new keys and hot comics of the week. We go over all the comics, all the keys to get you guys prepared for new comic book day coming up on Wednesday. If you are not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share it with all your friends. Homework next week, Back to the Future Part 1. And we will be back here Sunday, 5 p.m., 2 p.m. Pacific. All right? So, for myself, for Phil, for Cliff, for Green Chick Guy, and the rest of the Council of Comics, we love you. Thank you for watching. And we'll see you
tomorrow.
Let's make the brightest day. Where are the heroes?